Welcome back. Today, the Colorado Appeals Court threw out former Mesa County Clerk Tina Peters' sentencing. Peters was convicted of allowing unauthorized access to her election equipment in a failed attempt to uncover election fraud. Now, the court says she must be issued a new sentence.
And joining us now is 9 News legal expert Scott Robinson. Good to have you in person. I know we call you up all the time on Zoom, so
yes,
it's good
absolutely.
to see you. This recentering really centers around free speech. You're really familiar with the appeals process. How do you break down this ruling today and what it means?
It's a really fine line. A judge can use free speech rights to show lack of remorse, which of course that's shown in this case, or a danger to the community, or lack of rehabilitative potential. But this judge went a bit further. But again, it's a very fine line. Calling her not a hero and a charlatan may have been what the judge really felt, but he probably could have been more careful with his choice of words. We have a statute that tells you the 6 things judges consider in a sentencing. And if you go outside of those, you're taking a risk as a trial judge.
So what happens with a resentencing? How long does something like that take, and what are the steps?
Well, the first step is the case is remanded down to Mesa County. Then, as the court says, they're not ordering a new judge to sentence her. There'll be a motion to recuse, and the judge may indeed recuse himself, but some other district court judge in Mesa County is more likely than not to be doing the sentencing. And that's probably still weeks and weeks and weeks away, but we're not talking years or even months, just weeks and weeks and weeks.
Do you think that judge will say, no, I want to fight this. I want to resentence?
Well, you know, resentencing is up to the court. I've had judges recuse themselves on their own volition, and there is certainly an appearance of impropriety, at least, if a judge who's been reversed for sentencing someone to 9 years were to step in and be more careful with his words and sentence that same defendant to another 9-year sentence. So I think to be above reproach, my expectation is the judge will probably recuse himself, and a different district court judge, one who did not even try the case, will have to decide the appropriate sentences to impose.
I'm wondering, this obviously didn't happen in a vacuum, and it certainly didn't just happen here in our state. There was a lot of eyeballs from across the country because of President Trump's support for Tina Peters and his pardon of her. How does all that factor in?
Well, the Court of Appeals soundly rejected the idea that a president can pardon someone convicted of state offenses. In fact, we've heard time and time again how George Washington supposedly pardoned people who were in the Whiskey Rebellion in 1795. Yes, our precedents go back that far. The problem is it's historically inaccurate. What George Washington did is he pardoned individuals convicted just of federal crimes, as he had the power to do. And it was the governor of the state who actually issued the pardons permitting individuals who were involved in the Whiskey Rebellion to not be in prison. So I got to say, the Court of Appeals was very clear-cut in rejecting the claim of presidential pardon and took the appeals lawyer to task for not providing any legal precedent or historical background for claims made during the appeal.
Yeah, it's a state crime, and that's what it should be. And ultimately, I guess we wait and see what the governor says after this resentencing.
Yep, he was waiting for this. Now, the only question is it something that the governor wants to do? I would not be surprised, though, if he let Tina Peters at least be resentenced before deciding whether to commute her sentence or issue a pardon.
Yeah, that's the next thing we're keeping an eye on. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Scott, we know you know this like the back of your hand. Thank you. It's complicated.
Oh, it was a pleasure. More fun to be here than on Zoom.
Yeah.
It was good to see you in person.
So I appreciate that.
Thank you.